To another episode of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. I am your Dragon Slayer crone, Gayle Nicholson, with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista, and hiding in the background, audio only at the moment, is Miss Damaris Samolinski.
Hi guys, I don't know what's going on.
With Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski. And while she figures out what's going on with her device's camera, she's not actually going to be on screen, because that's how we have it set up, is only people who have video are on screen. So we can hear you, Damaris, and you can probably hear us. However, we can't see you. Okay?
No.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, you get that fixed as quickly as you possibly can, and join us in visual.
Yes.
Awesome. So I hope everybody had a fantastic week. I am so energized with the switch of everything that's going on today. Oh my gosh. Between the full moon in Pisces and Saturn going into, Saturn went into, I don't know, full moon in Virgo.
Yeah, Saturn.
That's right. All of that, I'm just like, woo! I was watching Joanne's thing earlier today, and she was talking about, Saturn came into Aquarius 2.5 years ago. What were you doing 2.5 years ago? And that's when, almost everything that I've gone through in my life for the last 2.5 years has made sense. Wow, so I am so glad to have that behind. Think about March to October, right?
Yep.
In 2020. Yeah. That was when the beginning of the end happened in my prior life. So kind of interesting. Harry is here with us. Hello, Hair Bear. Welcome to the show. As everybody comes in, have a seat, make yourself comfy, grab a cup of something, and we have Miss Damaris back.
There she is.
I had to go on my phone. Hi. I had to do it on my phone because I don't know what's going on with my laptop. So I have it checked.
I appreciate you doing that. Hi, Sue.
Yes.
Good to see you. Awesome. Damaris, can you do me a favor and kind of tilt that down a little bit more so that you're further up in the screen? No, not up. The other way. That way.
That way?
Yeah, we want to see.
Yes.
That picture is gorgeous, but it doesn't talk to us.
Yes. Your smiling face is what speaks to us.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So hi, Sue. First of all, let's talk about next week. Before we get into this week, let's talk about next week. Because Miss Sue, Mama Crone, is hosting us. Yeah. Krista, you want to tell us all the details?
Yes, indeedy. All right. So I, on Friday, am getting on a plane to go back to the United States. Yay! Not just for a visit. We aren't moving back or anything. Hence why all my belongings are still with me. But no, we're going back. No, that's next year. We're going back. And then on Tuesday, we are going to be live, the three of us, for the first time ever in the same location. Yes. So guess what we get to do? We actually get to give each other a real hug.
Yes.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
I am. I'm wicked excited.
Yes, it's very exciting.
It is. It's going to be happening in Leominster, Massachusetts. And Mama Crone, my mom, Sue, has offered up so she could be part. I really realize it's like it's so she can actually be part of this whole event. She has offered up her house where we're all going to meet. So those of you who are coming, make sure you message me directly so I can give you the address. And then not only that, we have the Bakehouse in Chelsea who is going to, we're going to place our lunch orders with them, and they're going to hand deliver our lunches via Tracy.
That's phenomenal. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I will be sending the menu out for everybody to, place their order directly with Tracy. Do not place your order with me. As much as I would love to, be of service to that, that's just not. Yeah. I have to decide what I'm going to eat.
Yeah. So I know I just spelled Massachusetts wrong, but please join us next week in Leominster. And we know that we've got, let's see, Ada's coming and Tanya's coming and Harry is coming and Sue will be there.
And Tracy.
So if you want to go, reach out to us. What?
No, Tracy.
Oh, and Tracy. That's right. Tracy's coming as well. So
yeah, and Allison Baker is also going to come, but she just yes. So we're going to see her. She's going to at least swing by. How long we see her, I'm not sure, but she wants to make sure that she gets to meet us and gets to meet everybody. So we're really excited about that.
Yes.
And then there may be some other people in Leominster that may choose to come. I don't know yet. We'll see if they show up. They've been out. Everyone's been invited. My friends, I had thought for a while I was going to be having a group coming up from Virginia, but sadly that isn't going to be working. But next time.
Yeah. As long as we don't have men in black suits coming up.
Okay. Well, I don't foresee that, but no promises.
And you're moving back next year, right? In 2024 to the
2024,
States.
we retire. And there are several options, but yes, one of the options, there are a couple of the options that do require us to move back to the United States. But yeah, so I have a feeling, Kevin and I, we're back in the US for this next essentially 12-day period, because the day of travel on either end doesn't count, are going to be vetting out some of the options that we have pinned up on our bulletin board. And it's like, okay, let's go and actually now look at it, since you are actually putting your papers in and you are actually retiring, and we actually have planned the date. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So then that becomes my next adventure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turtleback.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we're gonna. We do want to do the turtle life, which is RVing. However, we may have to do a small. I don't want to say a pause. That isn't the right word, but we may have to add another leg between now and turtle life. And that's okay. And we're okay with that. That's part of what we're looking at, because a lot is happening next year in 2024 for us. We retire. Our oldest son, his enlistment in the Navy is done, and Genevieve graduates college.
Awesome.
So it's like, oh, wow. Energy's converging all together at once.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Alrighty.
Yes.
Well, for all of you out there watching right now, we got about 5 people watching on YouTube.
Yep.
If you haven't already, please make a comment. Say hi to us. Let us know who is out there watching besides Sue and Harry. And then if you get a chance to, we would love it if you would share this out. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do. Please subscribe and activate that bell so that when we go live, you will be notified. All right, because we're going to be doing even more stuff coming up than we've been doing up till now. Up till now, it's pretty much been a once a week type of thing. In addition to that, twice a month for the Moon and Woo, even though that's not public. We're going to be hitting more of a consistency in posting stuff, especially videos on YouTube, because this shit is just too damn good to keep to small groups. We need, you know,
it is. We need to upgrade. We need to upgrade our ride, if, as they say. We need to upgrade what it is that we're doing. And funny that you even mentioned that, because I was thinking about that myself today. I was like, I got to get more consistent.
Right. So my commitment is I'm going to be doing Doreen Virtue's angel cards and doing 3 for the day for 3 Crones in the woo-woo. So
I like that.
I've been doing for myself for a long time. In that I will pull 3 cards for the day. What's today going to be like? I ask, you know, and then these 3 things will come out, and they are so right on, and they are so much more specific than when I do that with tarot cards, you know, or you know, I end up going, okay, clarify this for me, clarify this. No, with the angel cards, they're just like, study upside down. Yeah, you're not going to be doing any new learning anything today. So just get that out of your head. Nature. Okay, I'll take a walk. And I usually end up, you know, it's really, really good. So I'm going to start asking those questions for our 3 Crones audience. What's the Coven of Joy going to expect today? And we'll pull those 3 cards up the videos.
The energy is a lot lighter too for the angel cards.
Yeah. Right now it really is. Yeah, I agree. So one of the things I have to share, since you were talking about that. So today I had my mindfulness meditation group, and Kevin just walked in, hence the noise. But my mindfulness meditation group, and one of the things that we've been doing lately is we always pull a card from a deck. Mm-hmm. However, the card deck that keeps coming out is my cosmic reading cards. And it was really funny that you said exactly what you just said, Gayle, because I pulled 3 as we were sitting here. You know how you were enjoying breakfast. I was pulling 3 cards for our group.
Nice. God, I love it. So what did you get? Can you share it with us now, or are you going to wait?
No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to share.
I add my my analysis, so that's what I do weekly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damaris has been on the structure bandwagon long before the rest of us.
Well, and a lot of it with what you do with your analysis, I think really just it helps to solidify and helps people to understand. Because when you're talking, sometimes it's like, what is it she just said?
Astrology is very complex, you know.
Yes.
So.
And that's it. And so being able to read it as well has been, I think, very helpful for a lot of people. So
Well, I don't know where you get those pictures and graphics that you post with them, but they are just stunning. I love them.
I look for them on Google. I'm like, let me see what I can find.
Nice.
You're
awesome.
Very good at finding, I think, the right picture that like really captivates what it is that you are saying.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, Miss Damaris, let's get beginning with your stuff.
And I didn't hear the music on my phone. It's so different on the phone, but I don't know what's going on with my laptop. But anyway, But anyway, okay, so today we have the full moon in Virgo. I'll talk a little bit about that. The full moon in Virgo, Virgo is the sign of health and healing and service. It's the wounded healer. The moon has to do with all of our emotions from the past. So whatever wounding we have from the past may be blocking us in moving forward, because the sun and the moon are in opposition today. Well, because the full moon in Virgo, and Virgo and Pisces are in opposition. So the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Virgo. That's in opposition. And what it really means is that something from the past may be blocking us in moving forward and fulfilling our purpose. So whatever it is we, want to do in life. And so we have to work on forgiveness. Forgiveness is really more about the self than anybody else, because as I said before, we're 100% responsible for whatever's in our lives. How we respond to something is what will create more karma or less. So we are responsible for that. And so we really need to understand that whatever is happening, we have to look into it. And so, once we look into it, we find the lesson and the gift, and then we can move forward. So that's what the full moon in Virgo is. And also decluttering, detoxing the body, especially purification of body, mind, and spirit. Whatever clutter we have, we can throw out, donate, sell, whatever, get rid of it. We need to become light in every sense of the word. So, so if we have to run, if something happens and we have to evacuate, the planetary alignments are crazy. So we don't know if we have to evacuate, what are we taking with us? We can't just bring everything with us. So we have to be prepared, so to speak. Get rid of, what doesn't serve anymore. So that's the full moon in Virgo. So today, like you guys were saying, Saturn is moving into Pisces. And so what does that mean? There's themes here that I want to discuss. So the first theme would be the water supply, pollution, the ocean. It's also about prison reform. It's also about humanitarian services for people that have addictions, because this is what Pisces rules. Pisces rules all these things that I'm speaking about. So Saturn being in there is what have we neglected as far as these things that need to be addressed for the next 3 years. It's also about quantum physics. It's also about spiritual awakening. It's about checking our belief systems, our ideals, our what is it about our beliefs that needs to shift? So sometimes we're stuck in a belief that literally keeps us in a prison, because the prison could be a literal prison or a mental prison. And the bad thing about the mental prison is that sometimes we never escape. We end up living the whole life in that mental prison. And so we need to look at those belief systems that are keeping us stuck, especially when it comes to religion as well, because this falls into this. It's either spirituality or religion. And so where are you in that spectrum? Are you more religious, which is man-made? I'm sorry. Or are
no,
we
let
more
me interject this, because we want we want to define what religion means, right?
Yes,
Lig, L-I-G is the same root of the word leger, which is the garrote that you tie, right? So what that word means is to bind back. All right. It's not about empowerment. It's not about freedom. It's not about universal support. It's about something that ties you to something else. Dogma, a group of people, restricts your ability to do everything that God has endowed you with being able to do. It is a binding. Religion is. So let me go back.
Thank you for that, Gayle. Yeah, no, thank you so much for that, because that's more of your expertise there. I wouldn't have thought it that way with binding. You know what I mean? I always known that religion is man-made, and they separate rather than unite, if you ask me, because there's different religions, right? And so they stick to their own, and they don't, so it's very It's all about separation. And, you know, we have to always remember the other planets that are at play here, which is also Aquarius and Pluto going into that. So it's really destroying all of these things that have divided us and separated us and uniting us so we could rebuild. Right. And so that's what the Aquarius Pluto energy is going to be for the next 21 years. The Saturn in Pisces is only 2.5, 3 years. But the other one is longer. It's going to take us longer to, you know, come together and rebuild. And all these systems that don't work for the collective have to be destroyed. And there are so many systems that I look around and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it's just for the elite or a certain, you know, certain types of people. And that's not how God intended it to be. And so now we're going into that, you know, new dimension where we're going to come together, rebuild the earth, offer our services. Like I was saying before, especially to people with substance abuse, that Pisces rules that. Also, Pisces rules territorial boundaries. What does that mean? Like borders, right? And so that's also going to come into, you know, the front lines, if you will, for the next 3 years. All of this is going to be worked on.
Now, Marianne Williamson tells a great story about borders, right? And she said that when she was a little girl, her father pointed to a globe and he pointed to the line that separated the countries. And she's like, he said to her, little girl, God didn't put that line there. God did not
100%.
do that. Man did that to separate,
100%.
you know, and to bind together
you know,
people.
We are the keepers of the earth. And so there should be, obviously, there has to be some, you know, people can't just come in and terrorize our country, let's say, right? But we are keepers of the earth. So we should have sovereignty, if you will. And you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like I said, there has to be some, you know, regulations because some people just run amok. And we can't allow that. What was that?
Sorry. What movie was it that? Oh my gosh. Somebody said something about amok, and she was like, amok, amok, amok. Anyway, sorry. I've been almost Tourette's-ish lately. I'm just so freaking happy.
You're
crazy.
too funny.
Right, sorry.
You know, also with the other alignment with the Aquarius and the Pluto, by the time that's over, we're gonna have, you know, aircrafts that we, you know, cars that we fly. So where's the border at that point? Do you know what I'm saying? Like we could just take off like the Jetsons. So that's going to shift. I don't know how that's going to work out, but that's going to shift by the time 2044 comes around. So yeah. we'll see how that works out, but we'll be flying aircraft to get around.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Just a week and a half ago they actually have them. I'm sure it costs hundreds of millions of dollars maybe. But you know the really good drones that you see that are like $300, $500, $1,000 with the 4 little gyro thingies spinning around and stuff. And then in the middle, there's cameras, right? So they can get those beautiful shots of, you know, the buffalo herds, you know, running down the plains or whatever. They have one that's big enough for you to sit in. And it's literally a hovercraft. You go up and it's like a drone. It's like, you know, a camera drone, but extremely much bigger. So you can actually sit in it and drive it. I wonder if they've got remote control for that. Anyway,
imagine what that world is going to look like, right?
Yeah.
In 21 years, imagine, you know, so that's all going to be that transit with Pisces and Saturn is going to be worked through like the list of things that I just mentioned, because Pisces rules all of those things. So Saturn is going to come in and, you know, demand these things to be fixed because they have to be. Mm-hmm. And so, but okay, so we'll go to the number, which is 8, right? If I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So the number 8, I always look at that number as an infinity, right? I look at it, you know, sideways, the infinity sign, which is we are eternal. You know, sometimes we think that, even through death, that where that person died, that's it. But the energy doesn't die. This morning specifically, my phone went crazy for no reason. I thought it was somebody calling me, and I looked at my watch, iPhone watch, and nobody was calling me. So I went to the phone. I said, "Is this like an emergency alert or an Amber alert, something?" And my phone was at 77. It was charging. It was at 77, and I was like, "That's my mom. That is my mom." And she gave me an alert. She passed away, but her energy's here, and she will answer questions for me that I have asked her the night before, a couple of days before, and boom, she gives me the answer through her alerts or through other signs. And so energy doesn't die, and nothing ever is lost if you really think about it. Yeah. So definitely. So that infinity sign, that's what that tells me. But the number 8 is a very successful number. It's a number of hard work and dedication, responsibility, organizational skills to reach your goals. So if we want to reach a goal, we have to be determined. We have to be focused. We have to see it through the end. We can't quit halfway or 3/4 of the way. So that's what that number is all about. Is the number.
And that's all Saturn. That is all, embrace that Saturn energy.
It is. Saturn says, don't cut corners. Don't cheat. Don't lie. Don't steal, because you will pay the consequences, because Saturn is the Lord of karma. So it wants us to walk a straight path, so we have nothing to look, hanging over our heads, and that we can go straight to where we need to, where we need to be and where we need to get. But if you start cutting corners, if you start doing things that you're not supposed to, Saturn is gonna, bite you in the butt. That's the word that I wanted to use, but that's what it is. Real quick before I hand it over to Krista, yesterday I went to the bank, and there's 2 banks like next to each other. One is Chase, and then one is a credit union where I go. And the Chase, it had police all over the place. It was yellow tape all over the place. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? News reporters, people taking pictures. And I'm like, what is this? So I'm like, I waited a couple of hours, and then I looked. And sure enough, somebody tried to rob the bank with a bomb. And I'm like, whatever is going on with that person, they must be in a desperate place. And out of desperation, they did this. But now Saturn is going to get them. And whatever they were going through is going to get even worse now because of this attempt. Because they didn't get away with it because of this attempt, And so I'm like, gosh,
I'm sorry. But I'm laughing because wow, what the worst day you could possibly pick to try and rob a bank, right? And then that my brain flipped to, many times mainstream humanity, whether it's here in America or whether it's in old Europe, right, would look down upon astrology, right?
Yeah.
Like it's an inexact science because it can be interpreted so many different ways, right?
Yes.
However, smart world leaders historically, as much as they've had to keep it on the down low, would do astrological casting to find out when was the best time to do certain campaigns.
Presidents have done it. Yes, I know.
Yeah, presidents have done it. I think Alexander the Great, I think, did it. I'm not positive. Don't quote me. Look it up first because I can't right now. But there are like ancient old European leaders that oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt. So and they have been successful when they followed the portents to do whatever it is that they wanted to do, even if it meant delaying things for months until the time was right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But what I wanted to say, and I know I have to hand it over to Krista, is that this person obviously didn't know about Saturn because they wouldn't have attempted a robbery at the bank because now they'll be in prison, hence Pisces and confinement. And so there you have it.
Yeah. And here's the interesting thing. They'd be in prison, whether it's actually with bars like a prison cell or prison because they've put themselves in that because they did something stupid.
But I'd rather be in prison here, to be honest, than in bars, because that's crazy. You can get hurt in there. People can beat you. There's so many things that could happen in there. Really, that's not the way I want to go.
Well, no. Well, then I'm glad you're not the one who did that.
Oh, I wouldn't. I know Saturn.
Yes. There you go. She's like, I know what I'm doing.
I know Saturn. I would
There
never.
you go. I love it.
Over to you.
All right. Hold on one second. We need a sticker. I just love that thing. All right, Miss
I'll
Krista,
be
here we go.
bringing them with me for next week. So those who don't have your stickers, you can get some done. Or if you want to get them to give to friends, you can get them done.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Krista and I are swaying the same way.
I was just, getting down with the groove there. So I am like, I don't want to say overwhelmed. That's not the right word. The fact that we have Pyrite at following gold still is like blowing my mind. I mean, it blew my mind when the cards were initially drawn, but it's still blowing my mind because, the nickname for Pyrite is Fool's Gold because it has that metallic gold. And actually, believe it or not, there are trace amounts of gold within the Pyrite. Some pieces of Pyrite will have more than others, but there are trace amounts of gold in there. But when it comes to what it's the whole premise, I mean, it is a masculine energy on a full moon. Right? It is there to give us balance. It's there to bring in that yin and yang energy for us. It's also another element of protection. But what's really cool is it's protecting us from a lot while opening and working with all our chakras, even though, it's associated with the sacral, it's predominantly associated with our sacral, which is your second and your third being the solar plexus. Those are what it's, commonly associated with. It's good for balancing all the energies. If you need a little bit of a pick-me-up, grab a piece of Pyrite. It is great for some pick-me-up energy. It is a wonderful one if like you're going into a situation that might be making you nervous or a little uncomfortable, and especially a situation where you actually know the people you're around, perhaps family members, coworkers, a big important meeting. Pyrite's a great stone to kind of like pop in your pocket and have with you because it's going to keep your energy as yours, other people's energy is theirs, and help to keep you calm in a situation that your nerves are a little bit on edge. All right. So it's a really great stone. I'm really getting a sense, again, if you're looking back, all are the stones that are crystals of the week that we have had since the beginning of the year are really working together with where it is that we're going. If you actually follow the story and you go back and you look at the crystals, you're going to find that they're all here, just like the planets, telling the story of what's going to happen next or how to support us. Communication is a really big thing. I'm finding flow and communication with this moon, right? For me, I get a sense that you need, and with the things that have been coming up with us personally, it's been very interesting. And in my world that isn't all woo, it's even more interesting because there are all these people that are also in my other hat, my military spouse hat side. And we're all like on this journey, progressing to transition out of the military together, all within months of one another. And it's in the conversations that have occurred just in like the last 2 days. Again, full moon energy. We started. It's this flow. It's this flow. It's this communication. It's understanding. It's kind of staying open. And that's what pyrite, that's what gold did last week. It keeps us balanced in our energy with the moon. It's the same, and it's our knowingness. The pyrite is protecting us, keeping our energy ours and everyone else's theirs, and reminding us that, being in that knowing. And I guess the other aspect, the reason why communication keeps coming up is because of the card I pulled. So for those of you, we're going to go, I'm doing something a little bit different. Gayle and I were chatting. She was eating brekkie, and she and I were chatting. And so I pulled cards from, I can't pull that book up, the Cosmic Reading Deck. Yep. As I was sitting here, and it was really funny because Gayle's going, she gets on with everybody, telling everyone, I'm going to start pulling 3 cards every day, which is awesome. I love it. And for me, it just said, I was like, oh my God, it's so funny. You and I are sitting here and I just pulled 3 cards for us. So I'm going to share it. The questions I asked, what is it that we need?
I announced that.
Huh? You forgot you announced?
Why I announced it. My intuition is off the charts the last couple of days.
It is. It could be. And I thought it was kind of really funny. So the first card, I said, what is it that we all need to know today? Right? Mm-hmm. The first card is emotions. So I'm going to read. Isn't this beautiful? I'll take a photo and I'll post it for everybody to see. The pictures, because right now my light, the way it is. But emotions, we need to listen to what Nari says about this. And it's perfect. It is time to acknowledge and release suppressed emotional energy in a positive, constructive way. I was like, of course it is, because it's full moon, right? Mm-hmm. And we have pyrite as our crystal of the week. I just got all excited. So then I said, so what else do we need to know? Because you see, that's what I do with my oracle decks. So the next one is celebration. I love this. Isn't this the prettiest? Mm-hmm. Celebration. And of course, celebration is perfect for right now. Why? It's full moon. You need to celebrate. Everybody, post something that you need to celebrate today. I want to see it. I don't care what it is. I want to celebrate you. So post it in there so we can all celebrate with you. But celebration, your light is radiant. Be open to spiritual and material blessings coming your way. How beautiful is that? I think that's awesome. So yes, we have our emotions we're letting go of. Our we're celebrating. We're celebrating. Here we go. And then our last, how's it all going to end? This is communication. I love this one with the wolf. Mm-hmm. Communication. Mm-hmm. I just love this. So here it is. So it's going to end today. What we need to know for the end of it is to be truly heard, one needs to practice the art of listening. Mm-hmm. So as you're letting go of your emotions, it doesn't mean you need to go and verbally spew on everybody.
This is Sue that we can help celebrate with her today, that her healing process is going very well, and soon the pain will end. And yes, Sue,
yay! I love that.
Is going in process. You're healing well, and hopefully, even before we get there next week, your pain is over.
That will be amazing if it is. So yeah, but think about where we're at. And this is our last, for those who didn't see my post, this is our last full moon of the winter, making it a little bit more special. It's the worm moon. And it's a really important time to remember that we want to celebrate what winter brought us, including me at the moment, which is really cold weather and snowy rain.
Daylight savings is next week, by the way.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, it is for us. Yours is a week off from us, isn't it? The week after?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. By the time I get back, I'll be in daylight savings. So yeah.
But that's going to be an interesting addition to your
my adventure,
process.
My trip.
Yeah, because
it's all
coming to America, going to deal with daylight savings time, and flying home to the Netherlands and deal with daylight savings time. So
it's all good. It'll still be 6 hours.
Yeah,
it'll be fine. It's all good. It's all good. So when you're my thing for you guys is think about what you're celebrating today, and don't be afraid to let go of also things that you don't need, whether it's physical, emotional, especially emotional, but whether and physical, emotional, or if it's even people. That's the big one that I keep getting lately, like over the last few days, especially with a few conversations I've been having with people. I'm like, sometimes it's okay to say our paths are done crossing. It's time for us to go separate ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But enjoy. I really am enjoying this. Oh, cool. Thank you. Oh, those are pretty pyrites.
I love the pyrite.
I do too. I actually use it. I have a really awesome crystal healing grid I do on people using pyrite and selenite.
I use it for abundance with other crystals that bring.
Oh, it's amazing for
prosperity
abundance
and abundance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I love that. I love that.
Most recently, I pulled out one of my small polished pieces of pyrite and I put it into a little jar. And I'll take a picture and show everybody later. I don't think I uploaded it. No, I've got it. So here you go.
Oh, there it is.
All right. So this is water out of the spring that comes out of the mountain. And inside of the hermetically sealed spigot jar is another hermetically sealed jar that has my rocks in them. So that I can actually put my stones inside my water, but not have any of the stones leaching into my water.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I would never have thought to do that without Krista's guidance, to be very, very careful about what stones you actually put in the water.
Yeah, because for the most part, you're safe with quartzes. Like all your quartzes are good. But
I like malachite in my water too. So
holy mackerel, do not put malachite in your water.
That's the point. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
awesome.
Don't put malachite. You can do what you just did. Put it in glass that's sealed in the water. Go for it. Yeah, but no, do not ingest malachite.
Yes, exactly. And even selenite can be pretty because they have those fibrous shards. You
don't want selenite melts. So what I do when I want selenite in my water, I just surround it in selenite. Mm-hmm. I have rods that I'll just put around, or cubes that I put around it, and then I just let it do that. I haven't invested in a selenite disc yet. Eventually I'll have a selenite disc and I'll just put my water on that.
Yeah.
Well, you do have the 3 Crones and the Woo Woo selenite slab.
I do. I do have that. I keep forgetting I have that. I forgot I have that. You can do that with that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, use it as a coaster. It's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot all of it because it's on the 3rd floor. It has a job that it's been doing. However, right now no one's doing a job on the 3rd floor because I have boxes everywhere up there. That's why,
Awesome stuff. All right. Well, for those of you who would like to hear Damaris and Krista and I go a little bit deeper about what happened with the full moon in Virgo. We did that this week for our Patreon members. And so if you would like to hear every 2 weeks how to go deeper with whether it's a new moon or a full moon and how to make that work for you, please join us over on Patreon. Krista, you want to tell them about the different levels?
Sure. It's awesome. Sorry, everybody, you missed it. I stood up, Gayle asked me to talk, and I sat back down. Sure. We have 2 levels right now. We have the citrine level, which we love because that's you guys helping us keep the lights on. And we love you guys for doing that and contributing. And then we have the amethyst level. That's where you see us with Moon and Woo. And you have the opportunity to really have more time with us. And seriously, you get to be part of the conversation because you're on screen with us. And, and sometimes it can be a very lively conversation with everybody who's part of it. Sometimes, those who are just observing the 3 of us be lively. And we get a little more lively because we try to keep this one PG.
Yeah. And we talk about other things too,
Yeah, we do. We talk about other stuff. And, you guys get to hear us just kibitz and,
right.
I'm sure
that stays in the Moon and Woo, or what happens in the Moon and Woo stays in the Moon and Woo.
Yes,
it does.
So you have to be a member to know what else we talk about.
That's it. That is so true. Absolutely true.
All righty. Awesome. Thanks so much, ladies. Let's round this thing out today. All right. There she goes. She's poofed and disappeared.
There she is.
I went to go get my teapot.
Yeah, see? I had one too. That's what I went to go get. Awesome stuff. All right. So today we're going to talk about, and so it is, right? That energy of abracadabra, and so it is, right? The words come out of your mouth, and so it is, right? And I love that Krista kind of roped last week's gold into this conversation because as I was getting ready today, I was thinking about the fact that we call pyrite fool's gold. And after looking more deeply into the metaphysical and healing properties of gold and pyrite, right? It occurred to me that it was just another way that mainstream society keeps us from having access to that which empowers us. Okay? Because in calling pyrite fool's gold, because, it's not worth as much as gold, right? It's not a precious metal like gold. But the properties are damn near the same for a lot less money, honey. Okay.
Yeah.
Lots the same. From, gold calms override excited or angry emotions, and pyrite shields you and protects you from emotional vampires. Okay. So, it's a very protective stone and it keeps you pure. It doesn't allow stuff to fuck with your energy, right? The other part of it is that it unblocks creativity. And that goes back to exactly what we've been talking about with this full moon in Virgo and Saturn going in Pisces, where, we've got to detox ourselves from those impressions that we got that we were unworthy or we're not good enough to do the things that we think that we were created to do, right?
Yeah.
We are down here second guessing God. Right? God put this stuff in your heart and the world tells you, no, you can't do that. Only Jesus Christ is the child of God. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Each and every one of us are the child of God.
Me too, I second that.
Okay. Awesome. right? So we truly are brothers and sisters in life. We are each other's keepers, okay?
Yes.
So, let go of that. Pull on that full moon in Virgo energy today and tomorrow, and if you can, the next day, but it's going to be waning by then. Remember, the moon went full at 7:40 Eastern time this morning, so
Yeah.
we're already past that point of growing into it. Now is the time to get rid of all of that stuff. Everywhere in your life that you think that you're unworthy, let it go. That's bullshit. You are worthy. You are good enough to share your dreams. You are good enough to share your talent. You are good enough to stand in your brilliance the way that you were created by your Lord and Savior and Creator.
So be it.
Okay?
Wow,
So be it. So,
I feel like that we need to be standing up here.
right? Raise the roof and shake the tambourines. I'm
like,
but
wait,
time for that. This is the time. Put all of that behind. Like was it Krista that said, this is the last moon of the winter, right?
Yes,
the last full moon of the winter. Everything going forward is about growth, is about reborn, is about restoration, is about expansion, is about coming into what your full blooming is about.
Yes.
All right. So all you've got to do is be willing to let go of anything in your mind, your body, or your spirit that says you can't do that. You can't be that. And walk forward in as the creator of miracles that you were created to be. Right?
Exactly.
All right.
Love it.
In doing that, you want to write down the things that you want to release. If you haven't already, for example, if you aren't part of our Moon and Woo, then you didn't get the heads up yesterday to do this. So I'm gonna actually give you a little bonus thing to do this, right? So I want you to make a list of things to release. Here's some of mine. Having a drink and avoiding being productive. Looking for love to avoid being myself. Okay. Talking myself out of putting myself out there. All right. And taking on too much for not enough pay. Okay. Undervaluing myself. All right.
Yes.
So I don't know specifically what yours are out there watching this now, but I'm going to guess they're going to be something similar to these because we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. And you're here.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, there's a good start for you. Where do you hold yourself back thinking that it was something someone else said or did along the way that was the reason? Because that's past and you're still doing it. So you have the power to let that go. All right. Now, I have to move at this moment into our card of the day.
Oh boy.
Ten of Swords.
Yeah.
Yikes.
10 of Swords. Put a knife in it.
Stuck.
It's done.
He looks stuck.
Yeah. Well, no, it's 10 of Swords energy. This energy, I love it because he's bleeding out. This is as bad as it could possibly get, right? It's over. It's
Rock
done.
bottom.
Okay.
Rock bottom.
Exactly. Time to release what doesn't fucking work. It's
There
over.
you go.
It's not working for you anymore. Get rid of it. This is that line in the sand, right? All that went before is dead now. It's gone, right? And what's going to rise out of this? What's going to rise out of this? Think about it. If he's that dead, what's going to rise out of that? Spirit.
Yeah.
Just spirit.
Yeah.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed.
Yeah.
So this is that line in the sand.
Right?
Right. This is that day to remember. 3/7/2023. Everything that which has gone up until this point is now past and over with. All of your unworthiness, get it the fuck gone. All of your scared to do it, stop being afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are the most fun that we have on this show.
And we have a lot of fun, don't we?
We do. Right? So this is that, again, for the fourth time, this is that line in the sand. Going forward, you can be fearless, right? And if you can't be fearless, at least be courageous, right? Feel the fear, do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
That's what courage is.
Exactly.
Is feeling the fear or being afraid, but just doing it regardless.
And also it's like a crossroads between your fate and your destiny. So, you have to choose.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend, I honestly, I don't know Mama Crones' inventory. I meant to reach out to her today. But if she doesn't have any pyrite, I'm sure that she can direct you to where you can.
I don't know if she does have pyrite, but she may have. She might have a pyrite bracelet. She might have pyrite bracelets still. I don't know. I'm sure she's listening. She'll let us know.
Yes, she will. So here's the thing: when you hold pyrite close to your heart, it amplifies your personal power. Okay. Now, remember last week we talked about dressing up in the light of gold. And what is that? That is, let me get my notes here. Hold on a second. I'm around here somewhere. Wealth, happiness, success, increased personal power, confidence, courage, and willpower. That's the light of gold that surrounds you when you choose to grid yourself with that before you go out into the world, right? So dress yourself up in the light of gold. You can also do that with the pyrite, enhance that personal power, right? So if you can't afford an Italian gold chain like the rappers wear, all right, a little bit of pyrite in your brow probably do just as good.
Actually, it'll do even better, I think. That's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yes.
Yeah. And you really want to find if you can find pyrite that's still in a matrix of like tourmaline, because it's in black tourmaline, it's not an unusual. Oh, what an amazing.
Doesn't lapis lazuli have pyrite in it too?
Yes. Yep, and lapis lazuli, that's what really amplifies. And I love
lapis. I have a chunk
kyanite with pyrite in it.
Oh, let me get
that's awesome. Yeah, Gregory, our son, he has a pendant that's black tourmaline with pyrite, and he happened to leave it, so I get to deliver that to him next week. Look at you guys. I have them, but they're in that room. They're not in this room with me.
Nice.
Those are beautiful.
They shine so beautiful.
They really do. I have a really super cool piece. I'll take a photo and put it on. I just like it because it looks like a little gold nugget.
Yep.
Nice.
But it shines.
Yep. So Mama Crone will be able to hook you up for all your pyrite needs. And if anybody says, "Oh, that's fool's gold," tell them, yeah.
We're no fools.
Nope.
No, actually, what I want you to do is I want you to shift that. It's not even about not being a fool. It's about being the fool from the tarot.
Yes.
I am innocent. I am open. Yes. I am adventurous. I am walking forward in faith. What is possible here?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to think of when you hear fool's gold. The fool from the tarot cards.
Yeah.
Because it's not about, oh, you got suckered. That's not really gold. This is even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
this
agree.
Is even better. All righty. So we want to take a second to say congratulations to our woo-woo giveaway of the week winner. That would be Nancy Wagner.
Wow. Congratulations, Nancy.
Thanks for being part of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. Please reach out to Damaris, Krista, or myself to collect your prize. And for Nancy, who is new to the group and who may not know what this is all about, every week we give away a 30-minute reading from one of us Crones. All right. So you get to choose which Crone and which reading that you want. If you choose me, it will be an intuitive tarot reading. If you choose Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you choose Miss Damaris, it will be a numerology reading. So all you got to do is slip into our Facebook Messenger and say, hey, I choose you. And in whichever one you choose, we'll get you on the schedule as quickly as possible. Also, for anybody who's ready to do a reading for the spring, we're coming up on equinox in just a couple of weeks. Yeah. What does this next season hold for you? Reach out to one of us. We've got spots on our calendar and nominal fees. So we would love to be part of your planning for the next phase of this year for you. All right?
Yep.
Awesome. Anything else, ladies, before we say goodbye?
No, we're going to actually next week be in person. Yay! So I'm really excited. I will get to see you guys next week. It's going to be very exciting.
Stuff. All right. Well, thank you, everyone who joined us this week. Thanks so much for being part of Three Crones in the Woo. And thank you to everybody that does their part to put this show together each and every week. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you live from Leominster, Massachusetts next week. Bye.